I understand. I've been ostracized from different churches, and then I've learned why I've been ostracized, and I understand why people who different get ostracized for the same reasons. And then my aim is to help people that I've worked with who want to be included in society, but don't want to be kicked out of a college classroom, for example. Don't want to be kicked out of a support group because if they're kicked out because some problematic behavior they have is offensive or not good for the benefit of the group. So that's the point now. I understand the point that you made, why. I didn't at that time when you made it, and then several changes it has made in me. When I've been processing the message you told me, and just me articulating hell, the concept of hell.
Right.
I've had difficulty with that. And then you bringing it to my attention has made me look at that's part of life, and then me denying it, not wanting to look at it. And then I realized a lot of experiences I've had, a lot of people live in hell right here on earth, right? There's a lot of hell that people live in, and then for me,
A kind of hell, right?
there's a lot of hardship. People go through, the people we help in this church going through hell.
Yes,
okay?
I understand.
And then for me, and then that is an issue. A lot of people say, why does God allow hell? A loving God allow hell?
Right.
And then I have explored that. There was a book of Harold Kushner, Why do bad things happen to good people?
Right.
I have better understanding now why I can reconcile why loving God allows it, because it helps us grow, for one thing. And then me acknowledging hell in the Bible and hell in life helps me become more integrated. It did. At the time when you said that, my concept, remember I told you, Jesus just said, love one another. And that kind of when I graduated Chatsworth, I went to Pierce College, I went that Earth Watch, they had the first day, they had that the clubs were promoting, and I signed up with this club. First guy I met, Leighton Cooper, Earth Watch. It was there were hippies. It was an environmental group. There's a bunch of hippies, and they did influence me.
Excuse me, there's still hippies today, huh?
There's still hippies today. So there's varieties of them.
Yeah.
The ones who were still at Woodstock, and they're still alive. They still have like tie-dye t-shirt. They call them freeze-dried hippies. They stayed the same. They didn't change.
Or maybe Bohemian? Can you?
Bohemian, yeah, okay. So I don't mean it in that. And then there's different varieties. The beatniks, like really, really refined people who. So I was influenced by them. Now, so the things we were talking about, people would consider airy-fairy or like pipe dreams, things that the people, and then so considering like Jesus, all he said was love, and then not looking at the harsh side of life. These are the types of people who would not like the message, like the Bible says hell in there, because that's the influence in me. That's why we had that dispute about that. Having that in me makes me integrating that part that I'll say it this way, that the parts of us that we reject, that we push away, that's the part that comes to us and in life, and then to get our attention. Now, accepting the fact that there's hell in life and there's hell in the Bible changes my behavior in a way, makes me less soft, and I do have to be less soft.
Now, can you unpack that? What do you mean that you're less?
So I've been taken advantage of. I've been scammed because of
You're trusting. You're trusting people.
being gullible and then not standing up for myself. And this is a feature because of my. Okay, so yeah, that's what the research I've done. How the vulnerable are targeted for scams, and that this having low boundaries is a attribute of people like me, people who've been. Okay, yeah. And then so that allows them to be taken because they're people pleasers. They want the validation of somebody and they'll do anything for it. And then someone who knows about that, they target them intentionally for that purpose.
Yes,
So,
I understand.
and then having a backbone, having that part of me that will say, look, no, I won't allow that, say no. I was inspired by the Jim Carrey movie. It says yes to everything.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Yeah.
You can't say yes to everything. You have to say no to a lot of stuff.
Yes.
You have to. And then being generous and being giving, because if you don't, then I worked as a caregiver with neurodivergent, with people with autism, and then saying you have to, and then I understand like people who are therapists who see people who are neurodivergent all day long. I understand now why they have firm boundaries and certain things they will not talk to somebody, not share about personal things. And now I understand because they have to protect, because if they don't, you're talking all day long to people who have mental disorder, you can get burnout. That can affect you.
Emotionally.
Yeah, if you get involved with them. So that's the one feature. I get involved with these people. And that's the thing, you have to be really careful because you have too many of them you're involved with. It can affect you in a deep way. And so that's the thing about me. I have to integrate that into me. That thought that when you told me, I realized in order to be accepted in this church, I felt that the reason, and I've had that same conversation with elders in other organizations I've joined, they test to see if you're going to be trouble. I'm not going to be trouble here. That's what I felt. And that's what it was. If I start teaching or talking things that are in opposition to what the Bible says or what this church says, that would be problematic, and you don't want that. And I won't do it. I would agree not to do that. I agree not to do that.
Let me explain a little bit that I'm not against people questioning